Hey guys, Leah Campion here with leahcampion.com. Today I'd like to take a few minutes to review what you shared in my post about fear. First, I want to thank you for your encouragement, for allowing me to be vulnerable, and then making yourselves vulnerable by sharing your fears around meeting your health goals. So I made a list of a few of the fears that were mentioned in the comments, and if you notice at the top of the list, we have failure. We had more than one person mention failure, and I can understand that fear can keep you from moving forward. When you feel for sure that you're going to fail, why even bother? But let me remind you that a lot of successful people embrace failure because they know that the more they try, the more they will fail. But if they don't allow failure, then they also don't allow success. If someone trying doesn't keep trying, they'll never get to succeed, if that makes sense. And the more you fail, the better you get at succeeding. So I share a little bit about that in my book, and we'll cover more on that later, but have no fear, or rather face your fear. Ironically, right below failure was success. And that might come as a shock, but I can certainly understand that fear. If we have to work hard to succeed, what about maintaining that success? And actually, a little bit behind that thought process, if we look at time and it being too hard, anything at first is hard, okay? So at first it is harder when you're learning a new skill, right? Think about a child learning to walk. It's difficult for them. They fall and we let them fail, going back to failure, right? We accept it and we encourage them to try again. Yet when we become adults, because of being discouraged and judged by others, we kind of turn it off. And that's our ego speaking, actually. Our ego comes in the older we get and says, oh, wait a minute, remember last time when you said this or that, or when you did this or that, so-and-so chimed in and made fun of you, or they didn't think it would be a good idea, or you fell, or you failed at whatever you tried. So don't do that again because it made you look stupid and didn't work out, and look where it got you. Maybe you're thinking about relationships, right? So in many of these here, it's really about our ego, and our ego is trying to protect us, but deep down inside, who we really are wants to come out, and that person wants to shine, and the ego's keeping it from shining because the ego's afraid, right? The ego plays it safe, if you will. It's a natural response, but it keeps us in the same place and doesn't allow us to grow. Moving on, we mentioned time and it being hard. So yes, it takes time to invest in anything that's important to you. And I would say, where are you spending most of your time right now? If not toward investing in your health? What about your money? It's the same, right? Wherever your time and money goes, that's what's most important to you. When you stop and think about it that way, it actually becomes easier to step right out of that fear and make a decision about how you're going to move forward. The better you get at something, the less time it takes also, right? So the fear of having to put a lot of time into it goes away. Taste, oh my goodness, I get that fear. So with healthy food, a lot of times we just think raw vegetables, disgusting, tasteless, bland, but I'm a foodie. And when I decided that I was going to be healthy, my husband and I both are foodies. We love to eat. We said it has to be delicious if we're going to eat it. So any recipes that I share are absolutely delicious. You don't have to worry about those foods being tasteless. Another fear was hunger, and that is a valid fear. We see that a lot with maybe people who have a high metabolism or have low blood sugar issues and you're just not eating enough. But also this happens when we're dieting and we're depriving ourselves. So that's why I encourage you to ditch your diet, to instead listen to your body, to improve your mind-body connection, and to satisfy your body's needs. Give your body what it's asking for. That is the best expert advice. You are your own expert. You know better than I know, or than a doctor knows, or a nutritionist knows about your own personal needs. It takes time to get there where you can really understand all the signals of your body. But you don't have to worry about being hungry when you're truly connected with your mind and your body. Rejection is certainly a valid fear. and it can keep us from making a step forward. When we're rejected by other people, it's our ego that stops us and says, remember what happened before? And it just keeps us in the same place. But think about that rejection. You're letting that other person, you're letting whoever rejected you in the past have power over you. And so then you're not worrying about your own success. You're letting other people possibly be successful and sabotaging your own success because you let someone else win that battle in your mind, if you will. Selfishness is a really common fear for women, and especially for mothers. So you give and you give and you give all day, every day, 24/7. It never stops. And because you are constantly giving, while you would think it would be natural to want to receive because you may be exhausted from giving, you're just in the habit of giving, and it's just natural. And so we see it as something selfish to take time for ourselves and do something to replenish our own energy, replenish our own health. But how is it selfish? If it makes us stronger, if it makes us better, if it makes us happier, so that then we can be better wives and mothers and friends and sisters, all that we need to be, better employees, right? Better bosses. Whatever it is that we're doing, we need strength and we need our health to do it better. So it's anything but selfish, actually. We touched on hard and a fear of commitment. That's an interesting one because it can open the question of what have our experiences been around commitment in relationships. Sometimes when we have a struggle with commitments in relationships or other people committing, we can bring this fear to the table as well. I like to talk about that more one-to-one with clients, but I wanted to share these items with you, and in another video that I'm going to share within the week, I will be addressing how to overcome fears in general and how to jump right in there and make them work for you. Leah Campion with leahcampion.com.